friends. So it is December 2024, and I think I have a problem. I have a little too much uranium glass jewelry. I'm sure this dwarfs in comparison to quite a few other people out there, but at the same time, for somebody who does not particularly care about jewelry and does not really own any other jewelry and has never worn jewelry in his life, I have went a little overboard. I started purchasing this stuff predominantly because it was quite interesting. Not to say that plates, cups, and whatnot aren't interesting, but I really wanted to start collecting some of the more unusual side of uranium glass, and I realized pretty quickly that a lot of people don't actually really know what they have. So instead of paying, let's say this brooch might be $35 to $40 online. I think I got it for somewhere around 15 or 20. So because they were just selling it as regular old costume jewelry, I would get it for significantly cheaper than what it's actually worth. I bought sort of a combination of intending to sell it at market value and also just absolutely falling in love with it because it's just so unique. Let me grab my Geiger-Muller counter. Wouldn't you know it, a minute and 30 seconds into a uranium glass video, and I haven't even shown you the uranium glass. So yeah, there's, let's see, I did this last time. It sort of showed up well if I blocked. So yeah, there we are. There's some more of the fluorescence. Oh yeah, that one's quite bright. I really love these stars. They're just beautiful. This one I'll discuss in a little bit. We got a basket here. We got an angel here. Kind of circular brooch here. One with only a couple in it there, but I'll take it. I think it's pretty cool. Oh, I forgot. Hat pins are, I guess they're technically jewelry, but I'm sure quite a few people out there might not even know what those are. It's a trend of years long past. This one is awesome. It is a Christmas one, which when I first set out, I saw so much Christmas stuff in antique stores that I kind of joked, like, oh, one day I'm going to find a radioactive Christmas thing. And I did. It's, what do we got there? Some ornaments, mistletoe maybe? But either way, got those two jewels that are uranium glass. This one does not glow particularly brightly, and in fact, it might actually be even kind of tough to pick it up, but I will confirm its radioactivity. It has to be pretty dark and at the right angle to do that. This one, ooh, boy howdy, I love this one. This one glows very brightly. It's just like, the contrast is amazing on that. This was the first actual piece of uranium glass that I ever bought, and with it came, I think, I don't know if they were two smaller pins or earrings, I can't recall, but I left them there because I didn't want to be the guy who's hoarding all of the cool stuff. I would only buy one or two pieces whenever I was at an antique store. So those two are probably still there with, people, may, unless they happen to shine UV on it, probably not knowing that it's uranium glass. So I might need to go back to that store to pick those up, but we'll see. These were very cheap for something so nice. Yeah, just loved it. This one I want to say is sort of like this, also sort of spotty. Yeah, yep. You can see there's quite a few stones in there, but there's really no uniformity to them. Let's see. Yeah, this one, another one, kind of spotty, but very nice overall. Let's see. Get into some of the weirder ones. Here's a pin, little basket full of flowers. I always wanted, well, I still want the uranium glass rosary beads. I come across rosary beads quite often in antique stores, so one of these days I'll get lucky. But in the meantime, this is pretty cool. It's, I don't come across too much religious memorabilia or items of any type made from uranium glass, but in this case I did. I already showed this one. This one is, let me put it down. This one actually has so little uranium glass that it's not even detectable on the Ludlum, but it does glow the color that you would expect it to, like the other ones. and it is a Rotary Club pin. I've been thinking I might want to email the Rotary Club historian or something, just be like, hey, here's a cool little thing I found. And let's see. Oop. But yeah, the rotary pin I'm definitely keeping, just on account of how unique it is. You know, most of this, not to talk down on it, but most of this was manufactured as costume jewelry. You know, very, for lack of a better term, cheap. It was meant to be worn, you know, for some... It was always meant to be low-priced, and so therefore, it's sort of... Oh gosh, I don't know how to say it. Let's just say I admire the uniqueness of this more, because these are more general pieces of lower-end jewelry that you could find in catalogs and stores back then, but this is a specific branded piece for a charitable organization, sort of like finding a Freemasons pin or something, so I thought that was cool. And this last one, I might have one or two others somewhere. I'm going to have to take a gander over there, but I believe... Oh, this one is modern, I'll get back to that. But these, which are possibly my brightest glowing piece of jewelry, are brand new. And I don't know if... I know you can buy uranium glass rods. I think they sell them from overseas in Eastern Europe. I think you can still buy a new uranium glass, and maybe the person who made these... maybe the person who made these did that, or maybe they recycled some old pieces. I'm not sure. But either way, this, to my knowledge, is completely modern. Came from a local artisan, and they are just gorgeous. They had a couple other pieces, but I did not pick them up. But also on that topic of uranium glass that is not vintage, there's a trend going around online of apparently Michael's, of all places, the chain craft store, was selling some uranium glass beads. I'm not sure if anyone checked it with a Geiger counter or not, but it was apparently glass that fluoresced green under UV light, so the chances are good there. And I went to a specialty bead store, a locally owned one. You know, they have all sorts of charms and beads and any sort of crafts that you would want to make jewelry, and I went with my radia code, because I didn't want to haul the Ludlum around in the middle of a mall and freak somebody out. And I went with my UV light, and I did find multiple instances of fluorescent green glass that was apparently new, a new production. It was a little higher than I'd like to spend. It was a bit of a higher end place, but that just goes to show you, uranium glass is still very much out there. It's not confined to vintage stores, antique stores, collectible shops, etc. Oh boy, did I go over... Well, I've done a video on the hat pins, but this... on a completely unrelated topic, this might be my most radioactive piece of jewelry. The meter just goes well above and beyond anything else here, and I'm sure that's the sheer quantity of it, though. We have others of similar quantity, large stones here, large charms here. This one I felt was worth bringing up because it's quite interesting. This was given to me by a friend who apparently bought it at a craft show some years back, kind of a local artisan type of thing. And you can see, if it focuses, it's sort of these amber beads on the exterior, and then on the inside is green. And that shows up, there we are, that shows up quite well. So, at first I thought this was going to be something like that false positive video that I made where, oh, this is some sort of, you know, green additive in there, maybe zinc sulfide, some cheap thing to make it glow under UV, but it does actually register on Ludlum. It's very slight, but it is there. So, I imagine that the fact that it's sort of a filler, come on, focus you piece of junk camera, you know what it looks like. The fact that it's sort of a, there we are, the fact that it's sort of a filler as opposed to actually being the exterior glass means that virtually, in fact it should be, all of the alpha rays are being blocked. I'm not aware of any of these beads. It looks like it's, no, it's, I would say it's sort of on the exterior, but it's predominantly focused on the inside. of each bead. So I'm sure the alpha rays are being completely blocked, unless a couple of those just happen to go near the edge. But otherwise, it's just a bit of beta radiation that's able to make it through there, and maybe some minuscule gamma. But yeah, may as well try a couple of these first off. Let's see, beeper on. Oh, come on, you're not picking up anything? There we are. Probably should have let this warm up beforehand, but it's not a particular scientific demonstration. So I'm not going to be sending exact numbers to a professor or something, but here is the brooch with the matching, I don't know what you call these. They're not actual earrings. They're just false ones that you can put on without piercing your ear. So here we are there. There, I've got it on times 0.1. Let's reset it and put it on times 1. Yeah, just the sheer quantity of stones is pushing it up to about 1K. It's pretty solid. Let's see, what's interesting is the amount of these that cannot be picked up, and those two in particular, gosh, which ones were it? The Angel and the Rotary Pin, I don't believe can be picked up whatsoever. I've tried on multiple occasions and was not able to. But otherwise, here is this wonderful, beautiful brooch. It's pushing up to 500 counts per minute at a time. Here's this really solid Art Deco piece with that little charm at the bottom. This is minuscule, but it is there. Here's our two little star charms. I'm not actually sure what kind of piece of jewelry this is. It almost looks like something, I think it was dated to the 1930s or 1920s or 30s, and I want to say I've seen stuff in passing of, women used to have muffs, I think they would call them, that little sort of cylindrical piece of fur that you would put your hands into during the colder months. And I feel like I've seen in passing some pictures of Victorian-era women hanging these off of that as like a sort of charm. But otherwise, if you happen to know what this is, I'm not really sure. There's no clasp, there's no real anything. It's just a chain with two identical charms hanging on it, along with some beads along the chain. It won't focus, but just take my word for it, they're green. So, if you happen to know what this is, feel free to drop a comment. I'd love to hear what your opinions are, because even the antique dealer, when I bought it, said, "What is that?" And I couldn't give him an answer. But here is this. That's with both charms on it. And let's see, where next off to the... Yep, despite there only being 2 jewels here, this one is fairly large, larger than almost all other jewels, individual jewels of uranium glass, barring the necklace and charm thingamabobber. So, let's see how much that puts off. Yeah, it's there. I'm not sure if it was a Christmas piece, but it's sort of analogous to this. I was at a store, and occasionally you see crafts used in repurposed materials. I've never seen one in person, but I've heard bits of Fiesta ware being, along with other pieces of broken pottery, being put into clay, and then sort of making this menagerie, kaleidoscopic piece. So, I guess analogous to that is I saw somebody had taken some sort of pin board that you would tack, I don't know, note cards and sheets up to, whatever, and they had made a Christmas tree entirely out of old costume jewelry, and smack dab in the center was something that looked just like this. And I asked the guy if I could just buy the one piece off of him, and he said no, and I wasn't about to spend, almost $100 for a bunch of costume jewelry that I didn't necessarily need. I'm actually gonna, for the next one, I'm actually gonna turn the lights off because it is so faint that it's almost not noticeable. Yeah, let's see, what's the best way to do this? Boy, howdy. Yeah, I really need a better camera, because all it's going to pick up is blue. Yep, nothing. But